If you've ever felt like the third wheel, this podcast is for you.
If you love Wheel of Time, this podcast is for you.
If you're bored and have nothing better to do, this podcast is for you.
Join Rob,
Megan,
and Jen
in celebrating the Wheel of Time
and its statistically best fandom
and ridiculous gaming skills,
and probably a few cocktails.
And find out which one of them will be the third wheel this time.
This is
three-wheeling.
Welcome back to another three-wheeling. We're in episode 5, ladies.
I know.
Amazing. Even though we're every other week, it feels like we're already like vets. This is like
Totally.
Absolutely. But yeah, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Well, no, you and Meg. Okay, so I'm not going to establish it right now because it might change as the episode goes on. But right now, I'm the third wheel because I'm the only healthy one of the group.
Yeah. How's that sexy ill voice going, Meg?
It's going great. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's super, super froggy, and other times it's just normal-ish sounding.
Yeah. Meg and I are doing our twin power thing this week by both being ill with the same thing, basically at the same time.
And super not fair. You're sick 4 days after your birthday. See, we're gonna make this the birthday episode too, even though it's not releasing for 2 weeks. You get a double.
I had a great birthday. We did an escape room. We did so Manchester Breakout is the name of the company. The one I went to, they've got 2 sites. And I went and I tracked down, I only looked at their 5-star rated rooms, the hardest rooms. And I picked out one that was called Forsaken because I tried to do it when a friend was here in September and it was booked out. Amazing. So I was like, Kayla will do that. I actually found out it's their hardest room.
Oh, really?
Yep. Only 15% of people break out from the room.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we got out with 4 seconds to spare.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Kayla and I were very impressed.
That is really awesome.
So
is it modern? Is it like themed or in any way or no?
It was like you'd gone to stay in a cabin that your family had or something. You've been invited for an event, and then there was a note being like, "Hey, sorry, we can't be there. We're back in an hour." And then we'll get the party started, and you basically then get locked in, and you've got to solve all these ritualistic clues and things to get out. Kayla came in clutch with being American though, because there was one point where there was a map of all the states on. Certain ones had big crosses on them, and then in the second room, because it was like a 3-part room, in the second room there was license plates on the wall, and you had to work out which state was X'd. Which state had a license plate in the wall but wasn't marked off on the map.
Yeah.
And at first, I was looking at the map in the first room, and Kayla's at the license plate room, and she says the first state, and I can't remember what it was, like Alabama or something like that. And I'm looking at
Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas. I can't remember the song to remember them all enough.
I'm looking at the map, and I just went, "We should switch because I don't know where they are in the country."
Oh, right, because you were like, "Where do I find it over here?
Where do I find it on the map?" Yeah, so that was that's very entertaining. I was like, great. I can just read the state names. You can look at before the state. But yeah, it was a very good breakout room. So we had a lot of fun. Let's get on and have some fun. Meg,
yes,
because you're ill this week, what cocktail did you make us?
So I'm calling this Nynaeve Shut Up and Drink It, or I'll Box Your Ears.
Love that title.
Something she might say when you're ill and you don't want to drink what she's given you.
Exactly. Yes.
But you want to drink this. You want to drink this.
Oh, I do. I mean, it is quite delicious. So it's a 2 Rivers twist on the hot toddy. So instead of whiskey, I used apple brandy. So in a mug, pour 2 ounces of apple brandy. And I actually need to change the recipe because I tried it without the simple syrup, but then it didn't taste good because I thought with the apple brandy it was probably sweet enough, but it wasn't. So it'll be 2 ounces of apple brandy, half an ounce of lemon juice, and then about a teaspoon of simple syrup, top with boiling water. And then one of the recipes I called for or looked at called for 1/4 of an ounce of honey. But I always feel like that's not enough if I'm trying to coat my throat if it's sick. So I just said, listen for when the ancestors of the women's circle whisper to the wind for you to stop. So
I approve. I approve of that message.
Yeah.
So
this is a very good one.
Did you make that this week, Jen?
I did, and I was actually confused because I was like, why is she saying to wait to stop for the honey? I thought that would be the apple brandy section.
Haha, very funny.
I suppose it depends if you're ill or not. You know.
Yeah,
so.
that's
Right.
true. That's
Yeah,
true. I did. I missed the simple syrup, so I'm without simple syrup and without apple brandy. I just have regular brandy in here, but it's fine.
I mean, that's fair. I've made hot mint tea with honey. Honey was given to me by a friend. Actually, it's Massachusetts honey. It's absolutely stunning honey, and it ended the jar. So I'm gonna have to get back in touch and be like, hey, any chance of some more honey? Because it's really good honey, but it's also very expensive. So I'm hoping the magic power, so that will just get me ready to go back to work tomorrow. So
excellent.
But yeah, no. I'm curious, Meg, how long do you think you can keep making cocktails for us? Because that occurred to me last week when we recorded, and I was like, how many cocktails? I mean, there are endless cocktails really, but you know, every week you just come out with like the best things, and I'm curious.
I've actually started keeping a separate document like that you guys can't see, so that maybe I'll start like surprising you sometimes.
Nice.
Nice. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I've got like a brainstorming spreadsheet, you know.
She's not gonna run out. She's not.
No, I'm sure she's not. No, look at that bar behind her, folks. She's not gonna run out.
And also, this is you are a really. I know you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you're a phenomenal mixologist, and you are very interested in the craft of it, and the like. Oh, I've discovered some new liqueur or some way of like, some infusion or something that like is creating something I've never created before. So even if it's like a throwback to something else that's a drink that everybody knows, it's going to be your own cool take on it.
You have to try this. Oh no, it's gone. No.
It's how passionate she is, folks. She's like, it's gone.
So, there was this Empress. So Empress 1908 that's indigo.
Mm-hmm.
They just released one that's elderflower and rose gin. Oh,
you told me about that. Yeah.
It's so good. But I just look behind me and it's gone. We need more.
Try the shopping list.
But it's like $40 a bottle though. So
maybe that's so. I told Megan that I would when I'm back in Michigan that I will go to Total Wine with her and restock her bar because she's been
you do not have to do that
because she's been privately tutoring my 14-year-old who's taking the same class at his high school that she teaches at her high school. So
I honestly thought that sentence was going to end with privately tutoring them in how to make cocktails, and then you said 14-year-old, and I immediately rescinded that comment in my head.
Yeah, actually, he would love to be privately tutored in cocktails as well. I'm sure he's like, what are you thinking? I'm like, none of your business.
Yeah, give it a good few more years, mate.
Yes.
14's a smidge early for cocktail
lessons.
Yes.
Bless. That's very cute. I'm excited that, and I will. Actually, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll bring a couple sets. I will bring my cocktail shaker and such with me for WhatCon, and then we can actually like make the cocktail in person when we record.
Yeah,
that's great.
We just need to steal ice.
We're gonna have
from somewhere.
so much fun. I can't wait. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll have Guy sit down with us, and he can have a cocktail as well, and like we'll just have a blast.
Oh, Meg, you need to come up with something that's the Uno.
Oh,
yeah, like an Uno cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. Yeah.
Patrons, if you're listening, you'll be able to send me suggestions on that. I mean, other people can suggest if I listen or not. I don't know. We love the patrons. So
yes, they get first shot.
First shot, yes. But yeah, we'd need an Uno cocktail for WhatCon. That would be great. So. Nice. All right. I suppose we should do news and social media. Jen, do you want to do the intro?
Yes, do it. Do you have it?
No, I don't. I was
you just sing it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Social media.
There we go. Love it. Easy.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What news and social media is out there for us, Meg?
The only thing that I really saw, and again, I know some people like when they do their social media, they like do the social media of everybody and like anything going on, not Wheel of Time related, but I'm clearly focused on just the Wheel of Time. So anyway, so Sharon Gillam's Instagram, so she's the costume designer. She posted a picture of Lanfear embracing Rand and what I assume is the Ways. Definitely don't remember seeing that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's in her Ways outfit, the one with the like chevrons on the sleeve.
Yeah. It's
very dark.
Yeah, I was thinking like, interesting. Does she know that she's released an image that wasn't shown in the TV show? I mean, surely her post
Well,
get
I
approved.
also
It probably
wondered
gets
if like
vetted.
she was
Yeah.
embracing him when they started to travel. So I was wondering if that was maybe
Like a
what
quick
it
second when
was.
she, yeah.
I don't
May. It
know.
looked like they were almost lying down, like she was like
Yeah.
creepily holding him as he took a nap or
Slept.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, this was I saw people not losing their minds, but being like really surprised, like, did I not watch the show properly? Did I miss
Right.
this?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I mean, I immediately thought like, oh, okay, this is like just a still from a scene that
Mhm.
wasn't put in. If so, what was the scene?
I
Well,
know.
and I feel like because at this point Rand knows who she is, so this is like I also wondered if there was an aspect of my first thought before I thought it was the Ways was that it was Teleron Rand, and like my
Mhm.
first thought was it was the scene when Rand and Ishi are in bed together, you know, like. But then wait, what?
Mhm.
And then yeah, and I was like, that's not it. But then I did wonder if it was her way of manipulating him in the dream. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
possible if he like fell asleep in the Ways and then she was manipulating him to think it was reality or something too.
I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah.
We need the Wraith cut, don't we?
We do.
Release
Yes.
the Wraith cut. That's what
Or
we
just
need.
all the deleted scenes. Just put them all in, please.
When I
Yeah.
worked at Warner Brothers, I was walking across a lot one day, and somebody had actually hired a plane to pull a banner behind it, and the banner said "Release the Snyder Cut," and it was just circling the lot all
It
day.
just circled. Oh my god, that is.
I was like, "That's some impressive fandom right there." It's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's some.
They
lot of
were in
money.
quite the frenzy after all that. So.
Where do we circle that? Like, because the Warner Brothers studio lot is, kind of, that's a big place. That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, we could circle the Amazon Sony area in Culver City.
Okay, yeah,
That
would
would
work.
Yeah.
All right, let's
next
get
big
on it.
collaborative project. Yeah.
Yep.
How much is it going to be for a plane to circle for a day? Oh, so I hope a group of people went in on that for the Snyder Cut one, because it's a lot of money, I'm sure.
Right.
So, amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene was fun to see people like worrying that they'd missed something. So,
but like,
and then
we know that we didn't miss anything. Like, we're too crazy anal retentive, like,
and have watched it
no way we would have
150
missed
times.
it.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
This
like,
is true.
As a mass group, someone have been like, "No, we've seen that." So no, like, we definitely didn't see it.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
Yeah,
that is a good point. And then we had WoTSeries. Now we're gonna have fun with this, especially with the Croaky Voices folks. But WoTSeries threw us they found some audition sheets. So I'm gonna throw it on screen for anyone who's able to watch. This is what do we think of this? Have you both read this prior?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And I do have something to say about this. So these, when audition sides come out in the world in general, sometimes, I mean, obviously this show has been full of lots of like not using the names of the person and not showing us exactly, and so we've had to be like, is she talking to Perrin, or, is this going to be this person, or, but I have been shocked at how word for word most of the audition sides we've seen have made it into the show, even if it ends up being a deleted scene sometimes, but like they're really accurate. Like, a lot of changes can still happen. It doesn't seem like much is changing. So I'm excited because I think we will see this on screen. Now, we also don't know if there are lots of places to get audition sides. To find these sides this late makes me wonder if it isn't a leak from somewhere.
Like, on purpose?
Kind of. I mean, not really.
To like drum up hype.
These would have been. I mean, these audition sides would have been available to people a year and a half ago. So it does feel late to suddenly discover them at this point. And yeah, so that's why I feel like it's definitely something that's going to stick.
Also, potentially WoTSeries could have been hanging into it for a while for some reason or other too.
Yeah, or maybe they had it and Amazon asked them to hang on to it for a while.
Right.
Yeah, I know their ethos is to be like, hey, we found this. First consideration, if we release this, is someone going to get in trouble for this being out there. Like, if someone posts this by accident, going to lose their job if we say, hey, look, everybody, this has been posted.
Right.
And often I think they try and get verification from like Amazon or whatever. And sometimes they just get told, like, could you not release this?
Another reason that we have statistically the best fandom. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But also these sides, so sides are usually available to people when an audition's coming out publicly. And these, I mean, I can only imagine that. Have we said whose sides they are yet? I don't think we've said that.
No, but they're for Elaida's.
Yes, and so knowing, all of us believing that Shora is playing Elaida, it would have been. It might not have been offer only. It still might have been a read, but they probably weren't posted on like the sites that are like every agent can see and every actor can see. That's like a chance for them to submit, because these were they were only bringing in their own people that they had offered to or wanted to read. So yeah, these may not have actually been up and available in those more public forums.
So is that like when someone writes a part for a show or a movie or whatever and be like, hey, I've got this person in mind, they would send it to them? This is like sending it to them first as opposed to just making it public and anyone can apply type thing?
Yeah, potentially. Okay. Or that they, they were like, it could be that, I mean, it could be, it's casting is still involved. So it could just be that the casting office had them, but they were, we're going to read Shora, we're going to read Beverly D'Angelo, we're going to read, 3 people, and then like those people's agents would have it.
Right.
Yes.
And then if they weren't happy after that, then they would pass it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, the fact that it's just out somewhere on a website that people could just be like, oh, this person's advertising for this person's advertising for that, and you could just go and look and see.
Yeah.
Kind of mind-blowing. It's kind of worth becoming just like a base actor to get access to their website. And then you can...
Yes. And even as a base actor, you don't actually have access to all of it. Like I created my own agency when I was an actor, and we, with other actors who kind of represented each other, which is a little bit on the shady side of what's allowable in the acting world. But, we wanted to be able to have access to submit ourselves if we didn't have agents or if our agents weren't doing it. Megan, you remember I sent you a casting notice for Cersei Lannister.
Oh, I do remember that.
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
That was actually up and out there in the world. Like, it was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is very cool. So,
Which
okay.
I mean, that perfect for that, by the way.
What? What?
You would have been perfect for that, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you get to play against some amazing actors, but look at who plays your brother,
my twin sibling brother,
your twin brother.
Discussing last week.
So that might be why it's taken so long to come to service, because it might have been just for a few select people, and then eventually it's been found, and now it's like out there. This is still making me think of when I posted on
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day, thank you.
Yeah.
And I caught WoTSeries for that, bless them. So it'll be announced properly at some point. But I read these and I thought they're not going to be in the show, because this then messes with our, and as you'll see as we read through them, folks, this messes with our prediction of the Tower coup situation. Yeah. So, but we'll read through. Who's doing what? So the first scene, now, just to remind you folks, obviously the script has code words for regular Wheel of Time names and phrases and stuff, so they get replaced by WoTSeries take their best guess and replace them. So this is not exactly what was found. It's been edited to fit that in. But the first one is Elaida requesting a seat with the Amelin, or an audience with the Amelin seats. And like, they don't know if the other person has seen is Nynaeve, but it seems likely that it would be based on who else could you get to give you an audience with the Amelin seat, if not the Keeper of the Chronicles. So who's reading these two parts?
Mike, do you have a preference?
Should I be Elaida, since I sound like Shora?
Sure. I'll be do you want me to be Leanne in this one, and Rob, you can be in the next one?
Okay, yeah, that works for me. Fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, I'll start. So again, I'm Elaida / Shora. So I would like to request an audience with the Amelin seat.
You've been gone for some time, Elaida. Allow me to explain how things work here now. Only sitters may call a meeting with her.
It seems I have returned at a bad time for the Amelin, no? She seems to be dealing with quite the mess at the moment. A clever woman would see my value to help tidy things up. Perhaps that's too much to expect.
You forget yourself, Elaida.
On the contrary, I know myself and my duty well. I have come here in goodwill on behalf of the Queen of Andor to inquire after the well-being of her daughter.
A letter would have sufficed.
Perhaps, but the Queen hasn't received any correspondence from the White Tower in months. I can only assume that the Amerlin's letters are getting lost. Tell her that the Queen would dearly love to know how her daughter is getting on, assuming the Tower even knows where the girl is. Tell Suan I shall be in my chambers.
Nicely done. I love that. It was firstly, I like the you two have clearly acted scenes together before. There was like a
we have not actually. No,
have you not? There was a comfort there straight away. It must be a sister thing then.
I love the scene. I love the scene. I love Lyanna. I love what they're doing with her. I love how bitchy she is right now. I do, and I also love Jennifer. She's amazing. But this is great. This opens up so much really cool stuff for me. I love this scene, and I love. I know everyone's devastated that we're not getting Matt and Gowan and Galad in their, the sword scene and the sword.
I don't know if that's totally true. I think it might show up somewhere else at some point.
Yeah, I heard, there was a rumor that it would a version of it will show up at some point.
From what Rafe has implied, anyway.
Yeah, so, and I'm done with that. But to me, there's just some really nice cutting out of the shoe leather here. This is what brings Elaida to the tower, not because Elaida comes with Elaine in the books. And so this gets her there because she's coming as a messenger from Morghese, and she's like, what the hell happened? As Morghese is like, where's my daughter? It's just, I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's a really nice, a nice way of getting Elaida here, getting the why haven't we heard where Elaine is? Now they're going to have to hide from Elaida that Elaine is missing or not there if they haven't come back. Maybe they have, but there's a lot here I think that's really great, and gives Elaida a little more of the what the heck has been going on here while I've been gone.
Well, it kind of the upper hand as well, a little bit. Yeah.
It what?
Kind of the upper hand and sort of
and it gives
rightfully so on which, trust me, I never wanted to say that in my life, but
it gives her a little bit of moral high ground, and I think I also think that that's a really smart choice. I think it's a really smart story choice.
Yeah. I agree. And I think this one, because it doesn't seem to have, there's no words in there that see it, even if it doesn't go exactly word for word, if this is pretty much the scene that we see, there's nothing in there to imply that it's like, okay, I will see you in the tower, or I will see you in the hall, or anything like that. It's just like, I will be in my quarters, I think she says. I will be in my chambers. I mean, that could be in Cairhien. Because I want to stick with the whole, they kick her out in Cairhien. That also falls into the, the barely legal way in which she gets kicked out. So, I like this first one. I think this first one works with that theory, but even if they are back in the tower, it's still a cool scene. And it does give Elaida, makes you think Elaida's good to start with, because she's turned up being like, look, you're not getting the letters. I'm here on behalf of the Queen. You've got a bit of a mess, but I can help. I'm good at that shit. So I like the idea that she might be introduced as a character we should like, as opposed to, the way Leandrin was introduced with that cold open initially of well, you just seem evil.
I think it's great. I think it's going to make that character just a lot more nuanced and complex, and give us, I think in some ways they're going to be, this is spoilers, so anybody who might be listening doesn't want a spoiler, but I think it's just going to give us I think it's going to give us a future version of having to choose sides and it not being as black and white as it is to all of us in the books and it is in reality, because she's doing what and we want to see that she's doing what she does for the good of the tower.
And what she thinks best. And
in the books that's there, but it very quickly turns into, I'm just a selfish, horrible person who wants things and wants power.
Well, actually, Taco Ranriad and Black Tower podcast, they just did an episode together, and then Black Tower did a spin-off of it, which basically talks about how Elaida really again, spoilers. Elaida really starts to go off the rails after Fane gets involved with her.
I saw that they did that, and I had kind of forgotten. I had forgotten about that. I don't know how I forgot about that, but anyway.
in the grand scheme of what Thane gets up to in the series,
it's the smallest.
It's small potatoes of his story, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's very forgettable.
Yeah, it is. So that could be interesting because he just appears everywhere so far. Like he just randomly pops up, which do you know what? If that's how he gets played for the rest of just the show, full stop, I'm kind of okay with if he just randomly pops, because like you just never know where Padden Fane's going to be.
Well, yeah, but also he's like giving him that. I mean, going back to episode 1 of season 2, but giving him that slightly tighter connection with Ishii, and that and he's in Teleron out at the Dark Front Social. Like now I'm like, oh, anybody could be just like popping open a gateway and throwing him through anywhere at any time, and he's like essentially one step down from a Forsaken.
Yeah,
in a way, he's the only one who's
too that he's got his hands kind of in everything, and I kind of like maybe if we just get a little bit of him here or there, and then we start to see the whole grand scheme of things. Yeah, and I also think he's definitely already merged with Mordeath because we know he was in Shadar Logoth.
Okay,
so, and he's too suave, So I feel I feel like we've already got the merge, but we just don't know it yet necessarily.
I think he might be one of the most interesting characters that we end up with in the TV show. That is just so low key in there. I think he might have landed himself a very pivotal role in the show.
And he'll be there.
Yeah, one that's just not because obviously being being Moraine, being Rand, being any of the 5, being one of the Forsaken. They're big roles. They're pivotal things. But he's introduced in the TV show oh, he's just the peddler, and then he just randomly popped up here. Or he's in I think he's probably got 30 minutes for screen time or something stupid. He has very minutes.
Yeah, so financially as an actor, maybe not the best thing, but also as an actor, he can do anything else because he's on set for a couple of days here and there. Yeah. He really can have a lot of other stuff going on, and not have to be in South Africa for 12 months at a time. Well, whatever. But I'm just saying it gives him some flexibility. So
and then if they make him out to be this character is just interwoven to everything, it becomes pivotal to the main story. Later on, he just for minimal effort has just got a killer character to put on.
When I feel that's a really cool opportunity for the audience that doesn't know the books to be a gasp moment to realize how much his machinations have been affecting everything.
Even the fandom. I mean, when we all went back after we watched the entire first season and we were like, wait a minute, you can hear him whistling. Wait, he's there. Wait, he's in Tarvalon. That was such even for the fandom who knew that was that's the core of his character in the books, to suddenly see that they were actually peppering that in and have been peppering it in from the beginning is just when I rewatched episode 1, when the very first episode a couple weeks ago for our podcast, I was like, wait, the whistling starts even before I realized the whistling starts.
It does. It's so subtle, isn't it? It's amazing. So all right, total side tangent there.
I know. I go from Elaida to Fane. It's crazy.
Scene number 2, folks. I'll pop it back on screen for anyone who is able to watch. Second scene is between Elaida and Min. So I guess I'm playing Min in this scene now.
Yes, you are.
So this one they've put is especially interesting because it shows Min. This specifically shows her being back in the tower. So this is a realignment with a book arc, is what they've written in the article. This one I'm less inclined to believe unless somehow Min ends up back in the tower, and this is later in season 3, which I suppose is possible. But yeah, we'll read through it and go from there. So kick it off, Meg, if you're still being Elaida.
Yes, I'll still be Elaida. If spying on me is your intent, I suggest you practice more. You're the seer, yes? Min, all the talent you possess, and Sawan uses you like a dog sniffing after a rabbit. It can be lonely knowing what's to come, seeing the future writ large in front of your very eyes. I, too, shoulder that burden. But I suspect my visions and my prophecies are far less frequent than yours. How do you bear it, child?
Not well. I usually look away.
Oh, no. Painful as it may be, you must never avert your eyes. Visions in full are uncertain enough, but they are tools that we can use to bring about change. That is why it is called a gift. I had a vision once that the royal line of Andor would be the key in the last battle. So I traveled there and helped put the prophecy in action for the pattern.
I'm not a big fan of that level of responsibility.
With great responsibility comes great power. Those who cannot see need us to see for them. And may I give you one last piece of advice, seer to seer? Never let anyone abuse your gift.
That's a cool scene.
It's official. I like Elaida.
Also, now that we've read through this, where does it specifically say she's in the tower?
It doesn't. And I was going to say, does anybody ask what series to find out if they like did the sides actually have a location on them and they just didn't put it in here? Because if they're still, I hadn't even considered, because I read these and I saw that white tower thing and I just like bought that they were in the tower. But going back, Rob, about like the Kyrian thing and the theory that they're going to stay and depose her in Kyrian, like I think that there's an aspect of that that's absolutely still valid here. Min's in Kyrian, so we don't have to we don't have to be in the tower.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to their post about this on Twitter and see if anyone asked the question. Maybe they followed up with some information about it. But yeah, nothing in that scene quotes the tower, quotes the room, the hall. Nothing about location whatsoever in that post. So very, very curious why they specifically said that.
I saw some comments on the article, and Jay and I had talked about this earlier. Elaida is Uncle Ben confirmed.
Yeah, also that line does read like Uncle Ben. I can't.
It's flipped though, which is what's interesting because Uncle Ben says, "With great power comes great responsibility," assuming that your power requires you to be responsible. And Elaida flips it, saying, "How does she?
With great responsibility comes great power."
Right. And so, like, where the power is the end goal in that, in the way that she says it. So
okay, so there's nothing. No one's replied to the post and said, "Hey, actually, your scenes don't actually say, say they're in the tower. Where did you get that air from?" So perhaps that's something we should tweet out to them and be like, not to nitpick, but our screen here.
Right. Although in the Leanna and Elaida scene, I'm going back to this. I would like to request an audience at the ambulance seat. You've been gone for some time, Elaida. Allow me to explain how things work here now. So only sitters may call a meeting with her. So in a sense, like if they're traveling, you would think people would have potentially more access to her. So that leans me toward they are back, as well as Elaida. I'm coming here to look because she wouldn't be thinking Elaine. Yeah, and she wouldn't be thinking that Elaine is in Kyrian. She would be coming to the tower to look for Elaine. So I think I kind of feel like we do have to kind of go there. But they got there quickly. It's not. I mean, they're not quite doing Game of Thrones level traveling yet, and they're not, of like.
But I'm honestly okay with that. Like, if it just we got to get stuff done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, and let it go.
And we've had already, time jumps between seasons. So the idea that it's been a couple months, they're back in the tower, and frankly, I think if Swan getting deposed, it's going to make a lot more sense to have that happen at the tower. I just think it's going to be a lot more impactful. Like you'd always be able to say, well, it didn't really happen because it was in Kyrian. It wasn't in the tower.
That's true.
So I don't know. In that sense,
you could have her almost keep the bit with the gate, with Lanfear and all that sort of stuff. She could kind of keep that on the wraps, I suppose. And then somehow it gets leaked, or someone was just like, I saw something, or heard someone from someone who saw something, and then rumors come around and they ask her outright and she has to explain or something. And then, she wakes up the next day and she's out the door type thing.
And Rand got away and Lyanna was lied to straight up by Baron.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
I mean, not straight up lied to, but lied to in an Aes Sedai way.
I've had this debate with someone. I think this is now technically on a piece of paper. Did she lie? No, she did not lie. No. However, I think there's so much gray area in that, even for an Aes Sedai twisting the truth, that I think Lyanna's going to look into it.
Oh yes,
I think it's now put her on a suspicion list. Yeah, and I think it's going to just cause it. Maybe she investigates things, and that's maybe she then finds out about Lanfear and Moraine and Swan and all that sort of situation. I
think Lyanna's going to know about that stuff, but I also think, I mean, I don't know. I also think that it's going to be maybe this is the beginning of the moment of Swan and Leanne like really becoming close, and she's like, I can't confide in Moraine anymore. I need to confide in you. Will you be my
yeah.
partner? Let me explain what's been going on for 20 years. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But if they do that, then that means we still have an opportunity for Laras Mistress at the kitchens.
Yes, we do.
And I want to see that woman wandering around the kitchen, smacking people with
Smacking
a wooden
people
spoon.
Muddling around with a wooden spoon. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to be seeing that. So
Oh, hey, something else I just saw in the sides here that didn't occur to me as we were reading them, or even the first time I read them, but at the end of the Elaida Lyanna scene, she says, "Tell Swan I'll be in my chambers," or whatever she says. Like she says Swan to Lyanna. Like no one would call her
mother.
and not mother.
Yeah.
Right. Or
Right.
even the Emerald Seat. She says Swan. And that's like a huge breach of protocol and
right.
There's a lot said in that. I mean, that's from the books. Maybe they're a little more cash, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
I cannot wait to see Shora play her. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
Everybody posting the pictures of her in red dresses this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been seeing people post her from like other shows, other series in red dresses, and I'm like,
that's very
my
cute.
God,
I love that.
I can't wait.
I seriously, I just like people have posted like, why are like, you know, Kate? Why is Kate making me like, Leandrin and things like that? Like, I don't know anyone who actually likes Elaida. There are people who I like Elaida as a character because she makes me hate her so much. Like she's so well written, I absolutely detest her as a character. And I'm like, do you know what? I like reading Elaida because of that. You know, she makes me angry at her pig-headedness, her blindness, her stubbornness, her arrogantness. You know, like that's is that a word? Might be.
Yes, it is now.
Maybe
the arrogance.
Her arrogance, really, you know, things like that. But now people are going to be like, I like Elaida because Shora is just so fucking brilliant and also such a fun person when she's not like playing a character. Like she's hilarious. I've seen her do, you know, multiple interviews and things, and she's always so funny. So yeah, I think people are going to just die over Elaida and be like, this is not right.
Speaking of seeing people in other roles, quick tangent. So my kids are both homesick all week, and Zach was watching absolutely anything on Friday, which is the Simon Pegg movie, which I have not seen and was unfamiliar with.
I'm not familiar with this either.
Yeah, it's Simon Pegg, Kate Beckinsale, and anyway, he said, "Mom, come in here," and I was like, "What?" He was like, "Just come in the living room," and I walked in. And he was like, "This is the downstairs neighbor," and he hits play, and it was Mira Sial.
Oh, really?
Oh, and I was like, A, oh my God, I love her so much. And B, I'm
impressed Zach, you recognized her. Yes.
I love that Zach was like, check it out, Varen's in a movie.
Yeah, that's so cool.
My show only so far. Oh no, Zach started Wheel of Time. I was gonna say my show only.
You didn't tell me.
I forgot.
Oh, wait, like how far along is he? What is he up to?
In the prologue. Past
prologue.
I think it's prologue. Oh, because
he's gonna be there forever.
Well, the version he has ravens.
Oh.
So he was like, I was like, oh, what's happening with Luce Theron? And he was like, I'm reading ravens. And I was like,
he's getting the double code open.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize that because it was one David bought at the airport like 4 years ago, you know, that has now an Amazon show on the
only copy I have of Ravens is like I printed it from a computer.
Me too.
And it's like that like plastic spirally stuff on it.
I have a digital copy somewhere because Memo was talking about it on one of her videos that she did, and I was like, "What is this you're talking about? I don't know of this." And she's like, "Oh, I'll send you the link to it." And she sent me the link to it where someone's got it written up on be like, "Hey, this is the Ravens bit for anyone who's not been able to find this." And I read it and I was like, "Oh my God, I did not know about this." So it's a link somewhere on my computer.
Yeah, with me too.
Well, and I of course love it because it's from Egwene's perspective.
Yeah, but I haven't read it since the first time I read it when it first came out. And Zach was like, "I'm reading Ravens," and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't even have a conversation with you about it because I barely remember it. It's been so long."
Yeah,
I felt like a bad fan.
No, it's like the it's like the ugly stepsister of the first book or something, isn't it? You know, it's just like that like estranged aunt of the family.
The redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, something like that, you know.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, you know, there's a second prologue, right? And you're like, huh? What? Excuse me? You
And
know?
it's before. I mean, because it's well, it's not back in time.
Right.
It is out of chronological order at that point, but it's actually in the book. It's placed before Dragon Mount.
Is it? That's so
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah,
That's a messed up placement.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's very
But
strange.
I mean, you're going to do 2 time jumps anyway, so I suppose what's like,
Who
you know,
cares? But yeah.
yeah, it's all messed.
Go
Yeah, I always tell
forwards,
people like,
back,
wait till
forwards.
yeah, like just read the first 5 chapters in the prologue and just be like, okay, done, and move on and forget about them, because there'll be things that matter later on, but they won't matter until rereads.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you're
Yeah.
a rereading type of person, so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so interesting. I love that he's done that for you, though.
I know.
Speaking of seeing people in other things, I'm going to carry that on. So the reason we're recording a week and a half or a week earlier than we would normally is because I am giving myself, I paid for it, obviously, giving myself a Jordan Con consolation prize because I couldn't go to Jordan Con. A whole bunch of financial reasons. It just things kept spiraling up and it just didn't work out. However, Uno, not Guy Roberts, but Uno, the real Uno, on Instagram, if you know them, they're an amazing artist. They're going to go see, also couldn't go, they're going to go see We Are Hamlet, which is a Prague Shakespeare Company production in Bremen in Germany. That Guy is putting on. Taylor, Jessica, and Guy will be in it. Plus, I think his name's like Gregor or something. He played the friar in Romeo and Juliet that they did last year. So I'd be like, oh wow, there's like 4 people. He was hilarious as the friar. So yeah, a lot of people on stage that I've seen before. They're going to go see that, and so myself, Kayla, and my friend who lives in Germany, Anna, we're all going to go and see that next weekend. And then we were like, well, could we do the weekend after? I'm like, no, because I'm seeing Hadestown, where hopefully Donald will actually be on stage this time. He's promised he would be. He did say that at the Olivier's. Oh no, I'll be on stage that time.
I'll be there.
I was like, yeah, you better be, mate. But coincidentally enough, Maya, who plays Chiad, is doing her first stage performance of anything.
Of anything?
Of anything. I don't think she's on stage before. Looking at the discussion about it, I think it said like her first time on stage. Called Banging Denmark, which is currently on at Edinburgh Theatre in London, and it ends on May 11th. And there's a bunch of us in town on May 10th, the Friday. So I was like, shall we do a double feature? So we booked tickets, and I think there's 7 of us going to see Banging Denmark. So yeah, it's like,
and it's called what?
Banging Denmark.
I heart that as a title.
Yeah, I know, right?
The promotional images I've seen from it, she looks like a hot mess. Like, I don't really know.
Maya's not Danish,
the context or anything.
No, she's not Danish. Maya's Danish.
Can we get?
I wrote on screen for you if you like.
Yeah.
So at least we can see it, anyone who gets to watch. So this is like the thing. Like, go away, silly.
I love
it. It's got a lot of good ratings.
The
European premiere of Van Badham's acclaimed black comedy Banging Denmark opens at multi-award-winning Finborough Theatre for a 4-week limited season. I'm sure it says somewhere. It doesn't. Okay, maybe it's not. But basically, management consultant Jake's high in life with a lucrative side gig as a misogynist podcaster and pickup artist until his latest crush, gorgeous Danish librarian Anne, fails to fall for his usual game. Undeterred, he makes Ishtar a cash offer she surely can't refuse, to advise on how best to infiltrate Anne's no-nonsense feminist mind. But for Ish to accept such a deal from Jake, of all people, she would be selling her soul, wouldn't she? This explicit and badly behaved satire of modern manners sees Ish, Jake, and their friends and a stranger navigate the battle of the sexes and the sexless. No one will emerge unscathed.
Great.
But yeah, we'll see. We're going to see that. So I can't believe that 3 different shows in 2 weeks.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Maybe Alexander William will show up because it's called Banging Denmark and he's Danish.
Maybe.
Or one of the Coster Waldos. Either one. Husband or wife.
I mean, that would be fun. I'm down for that. It's like an open seating situation. You just buy tickets and turn up and grab seats.
Oh, that's great. So, and what about Bremen? Are you playing is it going to be like in an old theater in Bremen? I'm excited. Like, you get to see theater in like cool old theaters.
Yeah, like I've got it written in German somewhere, but I can't read what that says.
Right.
So.
This is very exciting. That's very exciting. Our theaters, our theaters here, especially in Los Angeles, like I played in some kind of cool old theaters, but also Megan saw me play in the most
in a strip mall,
in a weird room in a strip mall that has been turned into kind of a theater anyway.
And it was just like one row of chairs, like around
like on a little tiny
stage, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There were two rows of chairs.
Like a square.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we were in a corner. Like it was just a room, a square room.
That
so
is
weird.
I mean, look, if you can see theater wherever you can see theater at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm very lucky. Even like when we saw beginning of 23, we went to see Iola at Shepherd's Bush Theatre. It's like a converted library or something like that. It was like 10 rows of chairs that was like 10 wide or something. Not even that. It was more like probably 8 rows of chairs, 10 wide. It was very, very, very small, low-key sort of place. Even that was just cool. Yeah. So, next time we record, I will be able to come back with what is Donal like on stage?
Yay!
What is Maya like on stage?
Oh my God.
And hopefully some fun stories about Guy in Bremen. You never know.
That's great.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed he's got time to hang out. The poor guy was just doing so much at JordanCon.
Oh my God. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Which actually, I'm sorry, can that take us on another tangent?
Of course. I was about to say, was there anything else we wanted to talk about, or shall we do our game early?
Sorry, I'm like really starting to sound like crap. So I was listening to Wheel Takes with Allie and Gus when they did their interview with Guy. And he said a couple questionable things. So they were asking him, let's see, like what scene or moment do you want people to like associate with your portrayal of Uno? And so his response was from something that people have seen so far, which leads me to believe that maybe he is filmed for season 3, some things.
Oh, I think he's filmed season 3.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, so he said on another question, like, they were asking, like, are there any like fun games or things you play with the cast and crew while you're like waiting around on set? And he said, I'll keep it to season 2 since that's what people have seen. So
that's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That means we're going to get more Teleround. We're going to get Brigada and Geidel Kane and Teleround.
Again, I don't know. That's just like where my brain went when he like.
No, I think that's
they can't put that off for that much longer anyway. We need to be there. I know that's early for Shadow Rising, but it's also needs to get established before it's like what,
Yeah, they need to establish it before it's vital to the story. Yeah,
because it's vital to the story, and they need to establish it. Like, we've been there with the Forsaken. Now we need to, and Egwene being a dreamer and all of that. It's happening. It's happening.
Yes. So yeah, and I don't think it's after his whole like, oh yeah, I've died, it's really sad thing with season 2. I don't. Trust went down a whole lot, guys. Sorry.
Yes.
Well, and I think he knows too. If he's dropping lines like that in an interview, we're not missing them.
Yeah. Especially not to people like Ali and Gus. Like, if he just said casually in passing to someone who was just like, oh, that was so cool. You know, that's fine. But like Ali and Gus, like you, Jen, they work in the industry. Like, they know that you have to be Aes Sedai with your answers sometimes, and that's definitely an Aes Sedai answer. So
yes,
yeah.
I'll ask him next week and be like, "Are you in season 3?" That's if like
and he'll totally give you a straight answer.
Yeah, I mean, when we went to see Romeo and Juliet, like, is it Dave Hill, one of the producers? It is, isn't it? He was there, and there was definitely moments where it was just like, okay, I can tell you, this guy looks around before he says something, so unless like someone like that, or oh my God, I think I would cry if Rafe turned up. But unless someone like that turns up, I'm pretty sure I can be like, so are you in season 3? You don't have to tell me how or what you're doing, but
blink twice.
Blink twice if I see you on screen, as opposed to you just randomly were on set one day because you know people, And he'll probably be like, does that mean like 2 winks because I'm Uno? Like, God damn you. God damn you. So but yeah. Was there anything else from the Elaida scenes? I think you've convinced me that it's
we're back at the tower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mistress Laras. That's the only thing I'm getting out of that. That's fine.
Let's get some
Yeah.
Laras.
Shall we switch over to Never Have I Ever then?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I have the wheel set up this time, folks. So look at me. I got a smidge prepared.
Megan,
it's all pink and red for the
I
run.
love it.
Yes.
In honor of the Elaida sides.
Yes.
And the true power of the red Aja.
Mhm.
We are playing as three red Aja.
Yeah. So who's being who?
Should I be Elaida still?
I mean,
Go
you've
for
been
it.
Elaida, so yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
Jenn,
Rob, give it a shot.
I think based on your texting earlier, you're a big fan of Pavara because you kept capitalizing the entire word.
I did. This is true. I love Tesla. I love Teslin as well, but I will be either. Yeah, I can be. I'll do some Pavara.
Okay, you be Pavara, and that makes me Teslin. Okay. This is going to be interesting because now I'm testing my Teslin.
I need to crack my nooner now because I finished my
Your hot
Nynaeve, shut up and drink it or I'll box your ears.
Thank you for that ASMR.
You need like a sound effect when you do the video for the social media of like just like shut up or I'm gonna box your ears and then bang someone and then a disclaimer at the end. No one's ears were boxed in the making of this video.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not sponsored by boxing your ears. All right, let's out. And remember, folks, you can suggest Never Have I Evers to us. They can be random ones. They can be book specific things. They can be show specific things. If we get one that doesn't fit, we skip it. I think it's just the easiest way to do it. But we'll roll with the ones we got, and we'll just add to them over time. So let's have the kiss. Never have I ever been on a boat.
Pretty sure we've all been on a boat.
Yeah, we like it's a.
I mean, I can't think of anything on screen or for
sure.
But...
I mean, Pavara's old. She's been on a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Never have I ever kissed someone in public. That was
Elaida most certainly has not. No.
No, Elaida hasn't. Pavara has.
Yeah, and I feel like Teslin has as well, yeah.
And I know who Pavara has kissed in public.
Ooh. Should we try a different song this time?
Yeah, this is fine.
Where's the settings? There's the settings. Let's try a different song. Okay. What the fuck is rating socks? That's
I don't know.
I really want to know.
I know what that is.
All right, you know what that is? All right.
Let's I can't wait to find out.
Okay. Let's see what rating socks is. We're having so much fun with this. Oh, go. Okay. That was that kind of fit with the vibe of the show a little bit, didn't it? Actually,
yeah,
it did. Chill. It did. Never have I ever used a fake identity. Pavara is going to drink for that. She's done that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Teslin has as well whilst in hiding.
Mm-hmm. Elaida, no. Yeah. She's Elaida and gives zero fucks if anyone knows.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Poor Megan, she doesn't get to drink as Elaida.
Never have I ever had to go to court.
I mean, Elaida's gone to court with like Andor. And when she deposed Sawan, I would count that as going to court. So
yeah. Does Teslin go to court? I don't think Teslin's high enough up to go to.
I don't know. Pavara went to court when she when Dark Friends killed her whole family.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm going to say Teslin no on this occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like this new vibe. I'm going to keep this music. Because I noticed when I was editing the last recording, because it didn't make a sound effect, we were just like watching it spin. But then when you were listening, there was like most of the time we talked
dead air.
So there was like dead air, and I was just like, oh, we need to fill that somehow.
Yeah.
Never have I ever played hooky from school or work.
Oh,
I feel like Teslin has played hooky from when she was
for sure,
and Pavara for sure has. Pavara, I do really like Pavara, and I'm very happy to be representing her today.
I don't think Elaida has. She's too down to business.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Elaida doesn't take a day off, even though maybe now and again she should.
Yes, she should.
Never have I ever gone skinny dipping. Oh fuck yeah! I think Teslin's done this. Come on, she's got a wild side.
I definitely has.
I like Elaida might have in her youth with, who was it? Maidani? Was that
I
her
don't
lover?
think Elaida goes skinny dipping in the shower. You know?
Yeah, I don't think you can drink for
All
this
right,
one.
I won't.
Yeah. I think Elaida's like, nah, not even the shower gets to see this.
Even her relationship with Mayadani was based on like probably in the old days was completely submissive.
From Arrested Development who what is it? Never the guy who always wears his like denim shorts because he can never be naked. Never nude. He's a never nude.
He's a never. Oh, so Elaida's a never nude. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Fair. Never have I ever lost a bet. Now I'm willing to bet a lot.
Yeah, Elaida definitely has because she bet on the wrong royal line of Andor.
Yeah, she just like, because this doesn't say never have I ever admitted I lost a bet.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say Elaida has lost a bet. Teslin, is she the betting kind?
Pavara is the betting kind. Don't she and Andral even have some, like, they make some bets or some wagers when they're in there in the dark? I don't know. I'm gonna drink.
I feel they do. Teslin, I don't know. Maybe she's not the betting kind. We'll leave that one out.
All right.
All right. One more?
Yeah, one more.
Sure.
Now we're enjoying this fun music. Never have I ever fought in public. Elaida
beat the shit out of Egwene in front of everybody. So.
Chug. I would say sisters fought in public when they chased down men who.
Oh yeah, and didn't Teslin and Jolene have a spat?
Oh yeah,
Matt had to separate them. Yeah. I'm gonna say Pavara's beyond that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna say she's about that. I think Pavara would just be like, if I can't win the fight, I'm not gonna bother fighting about it in public.
Yeah, fair enough.
Pavara. She's full of all kinds of integrity. I adore her.
She is fun. Both Pavaras actually, book Pavara and our real life Pavara.
Yes, our real life Pavara as well. I kept thinking, should I be drinking as her?
I feel like she would be like, drink for everything.
Yes, she would.
And keep them guessing.
Yes.
Like, when did she do that? Like, well,
that's true.
Maybe I'll tell you one day. So. All right, so that is our what we did this last time, penultimate.
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 Yes.
So what?
Yes.
No, because we have what a positivity. What else is out?
Third wheel.
Who's the third wheel? So
I'm not. I'm healthy. I'm healthy, and it's also like 75 degrees here today, 80 degrees. So I'm third wheel in every.
So Jenn is the third wheel because her immune system is kicking ass this week.
Yes.
Mine and Meg seem to. We got that weird twin power, Meg, don't we? Like, folks, if you're not aware, Meg and I are what did we work it out to be? Like 18 days apart in age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 2.5 weeks apart in age. Like exactly, not even like just birthdays, like same year and everything. So we literally joked in the chat with each other earlier this week, like, damn it, were we swapped at the hospital? Like,
we're separated at birth. We're really
separated.
Twins.
Yeah, yes. Really twins. And just like, took 2.5 weeks across the ocean.
Bob, I saw them. I was there 5 minutes after Megan was born. I saw them take another little baby away and ship it off to England. It's all coming, and then that's why it's 18 days later, because you're right. It took that.
Yeah, some shipping time. Sort out the paperwork.
Time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
They didn't have Amazon back then.
No. This is definitely before Amazon. Then, but God,
there's no airmail.
Mobile phones already just invented.
You were on a Viking ship across the Atlantic.
On a Viking ship. My God. Eddie, what a positivity this week.
It's like, Jenn, you have one.
I could do one.
Yeah.
If anybody else doesn't have anything they want to share.
No, you got it.
So mine is not exactly, mine's not WoT related at all, but it is industry related. But I had two different so the industry gets a bad rap for everybody. I mean, especially back when I was an actor, but the industry gets a rap for, like, it's Hollywood. People are just out for themselves. Nobody cares about anybody else. Like, there's competition, blah, blah, blah. And I had two amazing interactions this week I had several actually with fellow writers, which was really kind of cool. In fact, one was a complete other surprise, but people support each other is what I'm getting at. And I think it's often overlooked, and it's often in fact the opposite. Like, people think the opposite about Hollywood and about the industry. And so I had 2 different really great interactions this week that happened to be completely separate but have a connective tissue. So I have a friend who I've known for many years who is running a show. I've been doing some freelance work for her, and I kind of got to the place where executive notes and reasons why the episode I was working on didn't had to get changed over. So I rewrote it like 3 times. But remember, I'm not getting paid for the third, second and third rewrites for this. And she just really graciously came to me and said, "Would you like to stay with it because your heart's in it and you want to complete it? Or is it okay if I take it over and just like make the changes so you don't have to continue working for free," basically? And which, neither of those is necessarily a great win. And also neither, like, it was just so lovely that she came to me and said, "I respect you enough as a writer and in your craft and as a professional to make the decision yourself." It was just really, really lovely and wonderful. Now, the same person, I had recommended someone to work with this person on this same show. This is completely unrelated, but that same person I had recommended to work on the show also came to me and said, "Hey, there may be a job opportunity. If we both submit to it, we might potentially be in competition, but you're a writer I respect and I want to share that with you." And I often do the same thing as well, and like tell writer friends. So it was just this like lovely positivity of paying it forward, caring about your fellow writers, being respectful of other people in their work, and it all kind of coming around and everybody taking care of each other. So that's all. I just wanted to say, I like writers. They're nice people. Yeah.
I hear that Rafe is a writer, so that must make him a nice person as well. But if he wants to prove that, Rafe, because I know you listen, obviously,
of course,
you should just employ Jenn to be a writer on your show.
There we go. There we go.
I think she has.
We're manifesting this and going to make it happen. Every week.
Yes.
Every week we're going to say it.
Every week.
Love it.
Every week we're going to put it in there somewhere. So
I love it.
But no, that is lovely that they, it's not like, it is a business. Everyone's got to like pay their bills and things like that. But you're also respecting each other and be like, look, it's a craft. You're good. I want to elevate you with me type thing, or give you the opportunity to be like, do you know what? I'm happy for someone else to finish this and save me the time of working for free, or actually, no, I've got time and I want to finish this. I'll do it for free. Like, to give you that choice. That that's a lot of respect there.
And there's a limited amount of work, but like not everybody's going to be right for everything. And I would love it if the people that are good, nice people do the work that I'm not getting hired to do, if that comes down to it, because you want good people to be supported.
This is true.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, that is it for episode 5, folks. So hopefully you enjoyed. Who knows what we'll get up to next time. Actually, do you know what I totally forgot to mention? On recording day, do you know today it has been 8 years since the Wheel of Time TV show got announced by Harriet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are recording this on April 28th, folks. Although the episode won't drop the Wednesday after we record, because we're just recording early. Knowing our luck, something big will drop just in time for us to have recorded at our regular time. We'll be like, well, we'll cover it next time. But yeah, 8 years since Harriet confirmed that the TV show was in action.
So wait, was that 2016?
2016.
Holy moly.
Who'd have thought 8 years from then we still only have 2 seasons? But we also wouldn't have thought we'd had a global pandemic and a writers and actors strike all in that as well. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Special
2 seasons.
Special time.
Yeah, two seasons is quite impressive considering all of that.
Good point. Very good point. Oh my gosh.
But folks, please like the episode, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, follow whatever is appropriate. We are now on Apple Podcasts. Yay! Damn you, Apple, and your pixel picture requirements and various other things. It took like 4 attempts to get it through properly, because they just, we need this, you haven't done that, blah blah, review this, and I was like, Apple is a lot of work, but a lot of people listen on Apple, so
thank you for your extra effort in that realm.
And please feel free to leave us a review, and maybe we'll even read it on the podcast or something if you want to do that too.
Oh yeah,
if it's nice.
The 5-star ones.
Yes, only 5 stars. Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna drop a 3-star. Like I'm gonna, You know, I'm going to be like, I didn't see that. So,
Right?
You know.
And it didn't happen. Yes.
Hey, I'm a writer. I can take criticism. I'll read 'em.
Who let the black eyes you're in, you know? But yeah. So wherever you listen, please, folks, review, like, share us around, follow us on the socials. If you don't follow on the socials, you will not just get to see Jenn, our social media. I can say it this week because we don't have 1,000 people watching like we did last time. Our social media. Making our glorious, beautiful video. She stared at me like, Rob, I'm going to fucking kill you for that.
Yes, Megan, you did. You did.
Yeah, there it is, folks. I'm getting stared at.
Thank you. Yes.
But yeah, do all those other things. And if you want to watch us record for free, usually every 2 weeks, but you know, it can get a little crazy sometimes because of schedules, then just become a patron and you will get links set out to you for when we record. You can watch us live. Yeah, I think that's everything. So
I love it.
Yeah. Until next week, folks, or next time, whatever. Take care and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye. Once again, we've proven that even when you're the third wheel,
you can always find a place to fit in.
Join us next time
on Three Wheeling.
On Three Wheeling.
On Free Wheeling.